Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now, whew, I was thinking, I'm always thinking about stuff, but this was technically my dream match that I wanted to happen, but it never happened. But what if, hear me out, what if Orochimaru versus Madara Uchiha? Now, we all know that this isn't a match. We all know this isn't a match, and Madara will basically spitfire the shit out of freaking Orochimaru. So we all know that this isn't a match, but I was just thinking for a hot second, because it's like, you know how when Kabuto and Itachi and Sasuke, like, they both fought. They both, it was like, they was all fighting each other, and it took Itachi to use like what was it? The other version of Inzunami, like the reverse version of it. Like I can't remember the name, but he used that, and it basically put him like in this infinite loop where it basically made him reflect on his past and his sins, and made him be like, well, you can't do the same thing over and over until you realize in yourself, in your heart of hearts, that what you're doing is wrong, and that you can't be somebody else. You have to be your own person, and snap out of this illusion of that you are trying to become this person instead of becoming your own person and learning from your own faults and your own sins that you did and the things that you committed. So if Orochimaru was to basically have like that full body that he wanted, like to have like an actual body, now what would have happened? What would have happened if he would have learned Snake Sage Mode? Because the interesting part about this was, it's like Orochimaru knew a lot of things. He wasn't stupid. He knew a lot of things. So it was like, even though he couldn't like have, because basically like his ultimate goal was to have like Itachi, like he wanted to have like Uchiha blood and stuff, but it was like, the theory is on that, which I will definitely get to in the next video. But yeah, if Orochimaru was to have like Snake Sage Mode, I wonder would have been enough to take down Madara, or at least fight him. But it would have been interesting, because it's like my guy fought him when he was in the god form and whatnot, and he almost killed him. It was kind of sick though. He almost killed him. But if he was to fight Orochimaru personally, I just would feel like he would just maul him down. Like, he wouldn't even be that much of a challenge. It's like Orochimaru it would have been interesting, but it wouldn't have been that much, because it's like when he tried to take Itachi's body when it was in the Akatsuki, and it failed. It failed. He was like, oh yeah, I want your body, come here now. I was like, nope. It failed. Then he was like, alright, screw you, I might as well go after your younger brother. And then it failed on that, because basically Itachi he defeated him technically twice, because he absorbed like the essence and took it out of Sasuke's body and put it into that gourd, and that was it. But it was interesting, because it's like you can't really get rid of Orochimaru, because Orochimaru's body, well, his chakra, he can place it anywhere and still come back, which is crazy. It's really insane. Like, if you destroy his body and everything, but if his chakra is still somewhere around and he put a piece of himself somewhere, he can still come back. And I'm like, damn. But yeah, if he would have had Snake Sage Mode and he was to fight like Madara with it, he probably would have put up like an interesting fight. Like, I wouldn't just say like Orochimaru would have just sat there and laid down and died. Like, nah. Like, he would have been basically broken with it. Like, he would have been how Kabuto was with it. He would have been a little bit more efficient with Kabuto, because Kabuto basically had the power and he was just throwing it around. He was just throwing it around, doing all types of crazy jutsus. Orochimaru would have took some time into it, got into the form and whatnot. Like, how I seen Kabuto with it, Kabuto was like Frieza, Golden Frieza, when he first acquired the form and was just doing all types of crazy stuff. He didn't like fully master the form, he didn't develop the form, he was just doing all types of crazy stuff. Not that it burnt out his stamina or anything, but he just allowed himself to get caught. But Orochimaru, he would have like perfected the form, got into the form, and would have been like, okay, what more can the form can do? Because it's like how Naruto has how he goes into a sage mode. He's able to do like, you know, all types of crazy stuff. How he fought the pains by himself, and technically won, even though he went into his like six tails. But yeah, he was doing fine by himself fighting the pains. And it's like with the Snake Sage mode, I kind of wanted to know what else and what more he can possibly do with it. But if Orochimaru would have had like some sort of Snake Sage, we probably would have seen different jutsus and just a tad bit more of what he can do. And yeah, it would have been kind of interesting, and then Madara would have been like, oh, word, some Snake Sage mode and whatnot. It would have been interesting. It would have been really interesting to see, even though he's not Hashirama, he's not my god, but it would have been interesting to see the snake versus the bastard. That's what we gonna call him, like the snake versus the bastard and whatnot. And then Madara would have been like, nah, like, yeah, like you alright, but nah. But I'm telling you, like, Orochimaru probably would have been on that crazy tip, because it's like you cannot get past Orochimaru. If he would have had like some sort of Snake Sage mode back then, and he was, let's say, he was to fight Itachi, it probably would still go down the same ways as he was to fight Kabuto with it. But I don't know. I just probably feel like maybe, probably, I think he probably would have lost. I think Itachi probably would have lost if he was to fight like Orochimaru with his full body, not decaying, not used, not jumping from body to body, no, like an actual body and whatnot, and he didn't have to worry about it like dropping or failing. Like, I personally felt like that probably would have been it. It probably would have been it though. But I'm telling you, man, like, it would have been an interesting thought. But as I would say, this was basically a theory. But if Orochimaru and Madara was to basically fight, obviously Madara would just destroy him. He would just destroy him. But he would put up an interesting fight for just a little bit. Because it's like he has like Majestic Fiber Jutsus, and then Renegon, all these crazy ass abilities, and whatnot. He would just shit can freaking Orochimaru. Orochimaru would put up once again. He would put up a good fight, but it still wouldn't be enough to take down the bastard. But yeah, this was just like a little versus match to see who would win. But everybody know I wouldn't even go off as to say Orochimaru would just maul Madara. Hell no. Hell to the no. He would destroy him. But yeah, this was just, I was just, you know, saying what was on my mind. But if you like what you heard and hear what you like, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff. And I'll catch you later.